Hey guys, so Square and Cubed. Welcome back. Today I have a very special video that I actually wasn't gonna do. But there's been somebody on my channel who is very dedicated to me and he cares about me an awful lot. So I thought I would do something very, very special for him. You may have seen him in my comment section telling me I'm unprofessional and telling me I need to get my ass whipped, and I just thought I would do something special because you know what? I believe that he was brought to my channel for a reason, and I believe that that reason is maybe to help him and guide him in this life, because there's just something a little off about a grown man telling a 20-something-year-old lady over the internet that she needs to get her ass kicked. So I think there's something we can do about that. And I think what we can do, first I need to learn a little bit more about you, Mr. Mac. I don't really know anything about you, but I'm hoping this will tell me maybe something about who you are and what your life is like and what led you up to this point. So we are going to do some tarot today. This is not a joke. This is actually completely serious. I have been pagan for a very long time. I recently learned how to do tarot. I took a very long 2 or 3 month course over it, so I do know what I'm doing, actually. This is not a trick. This is not a ploy. This is not a game. So first we have to cleanse the cards, and I like doing that and was taught to do that in groups of 3s. You can cleanse your cards whatever way you feel comfortable. I'm going to be doing this, and then I will be putting some crystals on top. Now, while we're trying to get to know a little bit about Mr. Mac, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I have had many a trauma in my life. I have manic depression. I have a lot of mental illnesses. It runs in the family. Some of these I was born with the predisposition to have, and some of these I have because of trauma. Because one day someone really did decide they wanted to beat my ass. One day someone really decided they wanted to throw me down the stairs of my school. One day someone really decided they wanted to grab me by my hair and smash my face into a dashboard of a car. So I've got my trauma. I've had my ass beat many times. I've been abused many times, and I'm dealing with it, and I'm working on it, and I'm getting better. I'm actually the best I've ever been right now. Now, one of the things Mr. Mac said is, well, why don't you actually go out and help people? And you know what? Weirdly enough, I do. The reason y'all don't see any of that is because there's no point in me helping people just so you can see it. There's no point to that. I have countless stories of people that I've helped, but those are my stories. And I'm sorry that I can't give them to you. I can't share them with you. I am sorry, but to share those stories with you would detract from the stories themselves. So I am sorry I don't get to tell you all the things that I do in a day that actually do help people. I would love to, but that kind of takes away from the meaning of it. You don't help people to show everybody that you're helping. You help people because it makes you feel good and it makes them feel good. And if we all make each other feel great, then life goes smoothly. So, you know, I do go out and help people. Now, should I do more? Absolutely. I could work at food banks. I could help pass out food during the holidays to the homeless people. I could do hundreds and hundreds of things. But I have my limits, as a lot of people do. There's a limit to how much I can help people before I start taking away from being able to also help myself. You know, for the same reason you wouldn't go out onto the street and give somebody everything you had in your bank account, well, that's me with my energy and with, like, my stamina in a day. Sorry, this is going to be loud for a second. You know, I would love to go out and help everybody all the time. But I have to take care of me as well. And that does suck. I wish I could be out there in the streets helping people forever. But I can't. It's just not feasible. So I am sorry for that. And I am sorry I don't get to tell you guys everything that I do. So I'm going to let my cards cleanse. I'm going to try and fix this camera angle a little bit so you can see what I'm pulling and what I'm doing. This is not to teach you how to do tarot. If you want to learn how to do tarot, get together with me and I can teach you. But I have to teach you in person. That's just a stipulation of the way that I was taught. Moving on, let me see if I can fix this camera angle so we can see what we are doing here. Is that good enough for you guys? I hope so. Alright, so now they're in threes. This is some quartz, this is some serpentine, and this is some copper. I used to know a long time ago what they did, but I don't anymore, unfortunately. I am very sorry. I do have it written down somewhere, but yeah, I'm just not really sure where that is anymore. But we're just going to let these settle on the cards. Whenever I'm picking which of my many stones, and there's even more right here, whenever I'm picking which ones I want to use, I just use my intuition. Whatever the cards tell me they want, I give them. That's just how I do. Alright, I think it's been long enough, so let's take these off. Now this part doesn't really matter which one you put back onto which. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I do this. It doesn't really matter because what really matters is the shuffling. Now, Mr. Mac, I'm sorry that you are not here with me. I did listen to some voice messages of yours that I found online. I read some comments that you've left on other people's YouTube channels, so I feel like I have a good sense of who you are. But we're going to think of our question to ask the cards. And all I want them to tell me is, what is Mr. Mac's life like? What is he like? Is he a family man? Does he have a wife? Maybe some kids? Is he down on his luck and that's why he's leaving nasty comments to people? Does he need help? And can I help him? Because if I can help him, I would love to, and I would love to do that privately. Ooh. Well, anytime you're doing your tarot and a card jumps out at you like that, it is important. I know you did see me falter with one earlier. It didn't come all the way out of the deck, but this one did. So I guess the question I asked was, can I help you, Mr. Mac? Can I help you? Let's see if this has the answer. This is a journal that was given to me by a very dear friend who passed away recently. She fell off a ladder, and unfortunately she hit her head and died of a brain aneurysm. So that is very sad. But I will cherish this journal forever. She wrote a very special note to me in it. And we are looking for Ace of Swords, which I believe is one of the first ones that I ever learned. Though I could be mistaken because I often am. But let's see. You know what? This time I was mistaken, so let's move over here. Perhaps Swords was one of the last ones that I learned. And I do apologize, my hands are shaking. Just a few moments ago, I was actually having a post-traumatic stress response, so I am trying to come out of that. Oh, so this is lovely. The Ace of Swords card, this one right here, this beautiful card, represents new beginnings, as if it were a sword in the stone. I don't know if you guys know the story of the Sword in the Stone. I forget which king it was, but he pulls the sword from the stone and becomes king, and it was an enchanted sword, and he had to learn how to do it. All of this fun stuff. We are going to put that back in the deck as we shuffle some more. Let me see if I have anything else written down. Nope, nothing else about the Ace of Swords. Well, Mr. Mac, When I asked if I could help you, I pulled the Ace of Swords, which represents new beginnings. So I think this is the start of a very good thing for both myself and for you. So let's finish our shuffling, because that's just one part of who you are. And I need to know a lot about you, because you're so invested and so interested in me. So that is my question to the universe, is who are you, Mr. Mac? And what can I do for you? And what would you like me to do for you? What would make you come to my channel and be a happy person when you leave? What would make you sit down and watch a video and maybe smile and crack a few jokes? What would that be? Now, I do a very special 5-card spread that, weirdly enough, came to me in a dream after I finished my tarot classes. So I can't necessarily teach you what that is, but we're just going to go ahead and go for it. So I need to break these down into 5 equal piles. So let's do 5. Well, they don't actually have to be equal, but I like to do equal. So we're going to do 5 piles, if I can get it equal. Oh, though I already think I messed up. Yeah, I did. But you know what? That's fine. Sometimes your intuition just needs to go for it. Okay, now most tarot readers read reverses. I don't. I actually didn't learn how to do reverse. In essence, it will be a similar meaning. So I don't tend to read reverse. Okay. Well, this is already very interesting. So I didn't pull any of what you would consider the major arcana, which tends to mean that somebody has no control in their life and that they need control. And I had an inkling that when you, Mr. Mac, were commenting on a lot of my videos, some of which are over 3 years old, I had an inkling that maybe you were doing it because it's the one part of your life you have absolute control over. And that's absolutely fine. I would love for you to continue commenting on my channel because I want to help you. I really do. So let's move on. This card represents you. It's the Ace of Pentacles. I believe that's a pretty good card. The Pentacles typically represent wealth or financial dealings. Let's see. I do need to organize my little booklet just a little bit better because I get lost in it sometimes. Ah, here we go. So the Ace of Pentacles, it says money is coming to you or leaving you. Money is traveling. So, moving money. You know what? I don't really know what this says about you yet, but typically, once I'm done reading the next few cards, I'll have a good idea of who you are. See, because this card represents you. So, I'm guessing you're down on your luck financially. Maybe that's what the moving money is. Or you're about to be on the upswing of your finances. Unfortunately, I don't know. But let's move to the 4 of Swords. Now, that's just kind of the question that the cards are trying to answer. Because the cards don't always answer the question you ask. They answer the question they want to answer. And they'll tell you what that question is. You just have to listen for it. So we are looking for the 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords is change for the better. You'll be breaking the box. It's often positive. It shows that you're looking for change. Ah, okay. So moving money, looking for change. Okay. Could be small changes, not huge, but take a little moment to enjoy these small changes. So see, this is the question that I asked. And I asked you, well, I asked my cards, if there was a way I could help you, if there was a way I could make you better and help you for the better. And that seems to be the question these cards want to answer. So let's move on to the King of Swords. Let's see. So the King of Swords is going to be what we want to ponder and think about. as we're trying to answer this question, this is kind of what is influencing the answer. So it's a Taurus situation, so I'm going to assume, Mr. Mac, that you're very, very stubborn. That doesn't necessarily mean that you are a Taurus. In fact, I'm a Libra with a Taurus in the moon, if I'm saying that correctly. I don't actually know. Self-conservation, careful but level-headed, can be dull, hardworking, meticulous, self-descriptive. It's typically a very plain situation that you need to get through or that you have gone through. You work hard, and you work so hard, in fact, that you do the work of others. So, Mr. Mac, I definitely can see this in you. You seem to take on the work of a lot of different people throughout YouTube. I kind of feel like you're trying to make everything you comment on, you're trying to just put your little spin of control on it, which is fine. But you know what? We're here to change for the better. So now let's go to Seven of Cups. I believe that one is about balance. Now, the cups tend to be fairly emotional, but you know, that doesn't always have to be the case. Could be a lack of emotion. So this is something that we want to think about as we answer our question. And remember, our question is, will you change for the better? So let's see, the Seven of Cups. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys, I have the hiccups. Future dreams and plans. It's a good time to plan your future. Focus on what you want. Now's the time. We all have fantasies that could occur, and this is a positive card. It's joyful and balanced. You just have to choose your side. I'm liking this card so far. You know why? Because it tells me that if you want to change, you just have to choose to. And if you want my help, you just have to choose my help. And I'm perfectly fine with helping you, Mr. Mac. 100%. I would love to help you become a kinder, nicer, and more helpful person who doesn't tell women on the internet that they need to get beat up. But let's move on to our final card. We started with money and we're ending with money. This is the Seven of Pentacles. So let's look at this. Oh, here we go. I'll be darned. The Seven of Pentacles. If you would like to see it, this card actually represents growth. It could be growth of money, growth of wealth, or growth of material beings. The cards around it will show you what you're growing in. It could also be a growth of skill. I'm thinking it's probably the growth of a skill to be a kinder person. So, Mr. Mac, what the cards are telling me. Let me move back up so you can see my face so that you know I am actually very serious about this. What my cards are telling me. There's been moving money in your life, and it's maybe making you a little bit unstable right now. And I think that's why you're enacting control over anything that you can control. But we're here to change for the better. We need to break you out of your box. And right now your box is very crude and unkind and mean. But it's okay. I understand. When you don't have control over many situations in your life, you lash out at anything you can. And that's okay. People do it. You're human, just like us. Just like me, just like everybody you've ever met. You're human. King of Swords. Taurus situation, so you're stubborn, but you're very plain. In your past, you've been a really, really hard worker. But I feel like maybe something has changed recently that you find yourself not able to do the work that you need to do. And I think that might be what's causing this kind of hole and blackness in your heart. But that's okay. We all get there. I've been there many, many times in the past 2 years. But we'll get better. And that's what the next card is about. Getting better. Choose your side. If you want to be a good person right now, you can. All you have to do is just change just a tiny little bit. And you can ask me for my help. You can privately message me on my Twitter if you would like to. Twitter at SoSquareUncubed. I actually really want you to message me because I want to talk about what this reading is telling me. Because this reading is telling me that you really, really want to grow as a person and become a better person, but there's something that's not letting you. And I think I know what it is. I think it's a lot to do with your past, a lot to do with people who have influenced your life, and that's not a bad thing. People influence each other's lives just different ways all the time, and that's okay. But I feel like it has made you a very close-minded person, and that's not okay. And I simply say that that's not okay because in this world there are many people. There are people like me, there are people like you, there are people like Susie down the road. We are all different, but we all need to be kind to each other until that moment at which someone shows us an unkindness. And what I mean by this is, let's imagine that you walk into a store. Well, Mr. Mac, what you do when you walk into this proverbial store is you yell at everybody that they're not doing their jobs right. You're mad at them. You come in angry. And when you come in angry, Mr. Mac, everybody in this proverbial store will also become angry with you because you're not showing them any kindness. You're showing them the terrible things that are wrong with our world. Now, Mr. Mac, people like me, and I personally, when I walk into a store, I smile, I greet everybody that I pass through, I ask people about their days. Now, am I always happy when I do this? No, but I put on a face, I put on a mask, because if I can show someone some kindness that they maybe haven't received today, then it might make them a little bit kinder that day. And if I can make somebody just a little bit kinder every day, then don't you think by the end of the year they'll be a whole lot kinder, they'll be a whole lot nicer, and they'll probably affect somebody else's life too in a much kinder, nicer way? So that's what I'd like to do here, Mr. Mac. I would like to help you become a kinder person. Now, judging from some of the things that I've read that you've posted online in other areas, I don't really think that you will, and that hurts my heart a little bit because I love to help people, and it hurts my heart that I can't help you. But that's the thing, Mr. Mac, I can't help people who don't want to be helped. So if you would like someone to try to show you how to be a kind person, if you want someone to help you understand different points of views from other people, if maybe you need help at all, just message me. Tag me on Twitter. Though I tried to find you on Twitter, and I found some old posts calling you out, but you're no longer active on Twitter, at least from what I can find, but maybe you've changed your screen name, which I think is probably for the best, given that a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people don't seem to like you. But that's the thing, Mr. Mac, when you go inside a store and you start yelling at everybody, those people have no obligation to be kind to you anymore. They have no obligation to like you, and they have no obligation to listen to you or treat you with respect. And that's the thing, Mr. Mac, is I really do try to show some modicum of respect to people who take time out of their day to comment on my channel. I really do, because you didn't have to do that. It's a special thing that you did. You opened up a dialogue between yourself and myself. But when you go out of your way to spout obscenities directly at me, and insinuate that my life should be threatened in some way, and insinuate that I'm not helping people, which I hope you understand that I don't broadcast my entire life. I've done many a thing in the past 4 days that you will never see or know about. This is not reality television. I don't have cameras all around my house 24/7. While I think that would be amazing and pretty fun and funny, I'm nobody, Mr. Mac. I am so square and cubed. I am Jamie Aaron Pickwick. You asked for my name about 9 months ago or so. Well, there's my name. Jamie Aaron Pickwick. It's your move. I would like to help you. I would love for you to become a kinder person. But the moment you insinuate that I no longer want to help anybody, that I don't go outside of my way to help people, I have a little bit of an issue. And while I have no obligation to be kind to you or to show you respect, or to even respect anything that you say, I have faith in you. I believe in you. Because everybody who wants to change can change. So, it's your move. Consider this a call out, consider it whatever that you would like. But it's on you now.